I don't buy anyhow. Before I buy anything, these are the questions that I ask myself, and I think this will also help you to save more money instead of you wasting your money outside. Let's start with the very first question on the list. Number one, why am I buying this? You see, there's a lot of people who buy things that they don't even know the reason why they are buying it. They go out and anytime they see something, they feel like, this thing is nice, I have to own this. But before I buy something, I must ask myself, why am I buying that thing? To speed up my production, to improve my health, or to impress people? This is the very first question I ask myself. If the answer to that is to impress somebody or to make somebody know that I have money, I will not buy. But if that thing, I'm gonna use it to speed up my production in terms of delivery, in terms of marketing, then guys, I'll go ahead and buy that thing. Let's move on to the next question. The next question I ask myself, is this thing an asset or a liability? You see, if you don't know the difference between an asset and liability, you will be wasting your money. Assets are things that put money into your pocket, and liabilities are things that take money away from your pocket. So before I buy something, I must know if this thing is going to take money from my pocket or this thing is going to make me more money. You see, for example, if I want to buy DSTV, I'm going to ask myself, is this thing gonna take money from me? Because every month I have to pay for the subscription. Okay, you can buy the DSTV at a low cost, but every month, guys, remember, you'll be paying for the monthly subscription, or even when you own. So before you buy anything, you have to ask yourself if that thing gonna take money from your pocket or it's gonna make you earn more money. If you don't know this and you keep on buying things anyhow, then you'll be losing money outside there. For instance, before I decided to buy DSTV, I asked myself, although the price is super cheap, okay, but every month you'll be paying for the monthly subscription. If you want to watch the Premier League, think of anything that you want to watch on Netflix or DSTV, you'll be paying for the monthly subscriptions. And these monthly subscriptions, if you can cut them down, you can save those money. Over time, these monthly subscriptions will be taking a lot of money from you. So before I subscribe to the DSTV or the Netflix account, YouTube Premium, guys, I must know whether it's gonna save me a lot of money or take money from my pocket. For instance, before I bought this camera, I know that I'll be using this for production. Over time, this thing will be making me more money. I can use this to do photo shoots and also film people to improve my production. So I went and bought this camera without even thinking about it so much, because it's gonna put money into my pocket. But if that thing is not gonna make me money but rather take money from my pocket, guys, I will not buy. Moving on to the next question that I ask myself before I buy anything. The next question I ask myself, where would this thing be in my room after 6 months or 1 year? You see, I want you to look around inside your room, check the things that you bought. You will see that some of them have now turned into waste materials. They are now occupying space in your room. Okay, so before I buy something, I have to ask myself, after 6 months, will I still be using this thing? Will this thing be still making me money? Okay, because we don't want to spend anyhow. We can save those money. All right, so if you want to make more money, before you buy something, sit down and ask yourself these questions. After 1 year, if this thing will be found outside your room, if this thing will be in your garage, your storeroom, I mean, guys, then you have to put a stop to it. You don't need it. Meaning that thing is a want, it's not a need. Okay, so just save your money, move away from that. Let's move on to the next question that I asked myself before I buy anything. The next question I asked myself, can I resell this thing if I don't need it anymore? You see, before I buy something, I make sure that that thing over time I can still sell it and make my money back. All right, so I don't buy anything anyhow. Okay, for instance, I bought my standing AC at 1500. 2015, I sold that standing AC for almost 2000, because that was the time that the standing room AC was booming. Okay, and a lot of people wanna own that. So I checked the prices online, then I also posted mine the same price. And guys, I made more interest. I bought it 1,500, but I sold it 2,000 Ghana cedis. So I made extra 500 Ghana cedis. So before I buy something, I must ask myself, if I don't need it, can I resell it back to gain that money back or even make more profit? All right, so don't buy something that you can't even sell it if you don't need it. All right, so to save more money, to make more money, think of the things that you are wasting your money on. Let's move on to the next question. What I consider before I buy anything. Now let's assume I want to buy that thing. Okay, I want to buy the camera because it's going to speed up my production. I want to buy those microphone, those audio interface, those PC. Now I want to buy it. The next question that I ask myself, is there any alternative to buy it cheap? If I decide to buy the thing, I do a lot of research, compare the prices on different websites to know if I can get discount, promo code to get that thing at affordable price. All right, so before I buy, I make sure I'm buying the thing at a cheaper price, and at the same time I can sell it at a high price if I decide to sell it back. All right, so know this and you can save a lot of money. If there's alternative to own that, you have to use that. Don't just throw your money away because you need that thing, so you have to pump in the money outside anyhow. Focus on buying quality at cheaper price. All right, moving on to the next question that I ask myself before I buy anything. The next question that I ask myself, if I have decided to buy that thing and I know where I can buy it at a cheaper price, the next question I ask myself, can I buy that thing 3 times? Okay, if the money that I'm having can only buy that thing once, guys, meaning I will not buy. Before I buy something, meaning I have extra money to buy that thing about 3 times. Okay, I don't want to take all the money that I've saved, I've invested, and use it on a particular product. No, don't do that. Okay, so before you buy something, you have to know that you can buy this thing almost 3 times, meaning that money that you are spending is not gonna drain you. All right, so before I buy, these are the questions that I ask myself. Now last thing I do is to wait for 1 month before I buy that thing. Guys, this is my secret. All right, so if I decide to buy the camera, if I decide to subscribe to Netflix, DSTV account, think of anything after asking myself those questions, and finally I come to conclusion that they meet the right answers to those questions. Okay, what I will do is to wait for a week. After the week and I still feel like no, I have to go and buy this thing, then I'll go ahead and buy. After 1 week, you come into conclusion whether you need that thing or you don't need that. All right, so wait for 1 week. That's what I do before I go out and buy that thing. All these things that I've said in this video will be useless if you don't know how money actually works. So watch the next video that will pop up on the screen to know the 3 rules that you can use to win the money game.